With Exodus 12, we have B famim as the note for verse 7, Malayal as the note for verse 11, and Qamt bas Nulta for verse 22, Hapi Dagusha for verse 27, Tse Dagusha for verse 31, Hagi Rapa for verse 39. Shibi I or Shibuao, so that's not appearing in the margin like it's actually been appearing in the margin. And God as a noun and verb spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. So this is why fall, it's the new year, but then again they put the first of the month over there. But then if fall is the new year, midsummer would, around June would end up being the ninth month. But it's observed starting in November. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb, boar, and house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls, every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. And maybe it was spring already because the Nile inundation thing and some other stuff went by, and your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the other sheep, or from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening, and they shall take up the blood. Shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door post of the house wherein they shall eat it, and they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the entrails thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, and your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is God as noun verbs, Passover, the word hop, but we'll probably get into that more later. But remember that if you turn to the Talmud, both the Babylonian and the Palestinian Talmud, you end up with the rabbis saying to break the commandments in regards to some of this stuff. But they don't say it that way. They say this because of this, turn up a couple pages, and then you don't take the commandments as seriously. I mean, for the most part, that's not what they do, but you do see that. And that reminds me of this. It's not just, mere deductive reasoning, but for I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all what are considered deities of Egypt. I will execute judgment. I am God as noun and verb. Well, these deities, you could say, okay, well, we're going to maybe get into that word later, but see, the jinn that have led people astray, well, they're going to have to answer about their influence, aren't they? And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to God as noun and verb. Throughout your generations ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put it away, leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. And therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, at even ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, stuff that rises, so not baking, stuff that makes the bread softer, stuff that has risen itself. So, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Ye shall eat nothing leavened. In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said to them, Draw out, and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop, and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the 2 side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning. For God as noun and verb will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the 2 side posts, God as noun and verb will pass over the door, and will not suffer the destroyer to come in under your houses to smite you. And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. And it shall come to pass when ye come to the land which God as noun and verb will give you, according as he hath promised, that ye shall keep this service. And it shall come to pass when your children shall say unto you, What mean ye by this service? That ye shall say, It is the sacrifice of God as the noun and verb's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses. And the people bowed the head and worshipped. Now, Mazda Yasneh, or Mazda Yasnism, is upon that same principle. See, the observances, the festivities and stuff, that's for God, It's that God ordained. It's not about some priest or serving some priest or something. And the children of Israel went away, and so, as God as noun and verb had commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. And it came to pass that at midnight God as noun and verb smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne, unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants, and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. And he called for Moses and Aaron by night, and said, Rise up, and get you forth from among my people, both ye and the children of Israel, and go serve God as noun and verb, as ye have said. Also take your flocks and your herds, and as ye have said, and be gone, and bless me also. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people, that they might send them out of the land in haste. For they said, We be all dead men. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading troughs being bound up in their clothes and upon their shoulders. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. And God as noun and verb gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they despoiled Egypt. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men besides children. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, and even very much cattle. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough which they brought forth out of Egypt, for it was not leavened, because they were thrust out of Egypt, and could not tarry, neither had they prepared for themselves any victual. Now the Pentateuch and the Rukhanwer, or is it Pentateuch, ceremonies, about the 21st of July and about the 21st of August, give or take, a month after Mahwast, summer solstice. This was one of the things they did, is they had a honey kamut bread that they, just baked in the sun. It wasn't with an oven. It wasn't with leaven and stuff like this. So this, again, so I understand. Maybe the Jews are observing Rosh Hashanah when they do, because they're like, well, there's some sort of remnants of these ceremonies there. The inundation of the Nile, and then, some other stuff. In the beginning of September. Now, the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. And they don't just pick a number. So they say the number. So, and it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the selfsame day, it came to pass that all the hosts of God as a noun and verb went out from the land of Egypt. It is a night to be much observed unto God as noun and verb, for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. And to this day in the Islam, the number one observances have to do with in the Islamic world, where they fast, or there's people who've come up with something else due to a tragedy that happened in, was it 61 of the Hijra, but which actually fulfills some prophecies. But this is that night of God has now deferred to be observed of all the children of Israel in their generations. And God has a noun and verb said unto Moses and Aaron, This is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall be no stranger eating thereof, but every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. What? Won't let you eat the meal that you're all preparing for a few days or something? You're just going to have to go without food. You're intact. You've preserved the nature that God has put you upon, or your parents did anyways. A foreigner and hired servant shall not eat thereof. In one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth aught of the flesh abroad out of the house, either shall ye break a bone thereof. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it, and when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover, to God as noun and verb, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, and for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. Thus did all the children of Israel, as God is noun and verb commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. And it came to pass of the selfsame day that God is noun and verb did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their armies. Important thing to remember in comparison between traditions. We don't, in the Islamic tradition, it says that Muhammad wasn't circumcised and he didn't teach it. And about people who did circumcise, he told them, it's, the less you do, the more reward. Of course, the greatest reward is not to do it at all. Stuff like that. And there's no medical reason for it, except in so many thousands of cases for boys and girls. And for adults, in general, they only cut the diseased portion off. وأمر يهوى المشح والأهرن بارتس متزريم لمر هتدش حسا لكم راش هتشيم راشون هوا لكم لتدشي حشنا دبرو الكل عدد يشرال لمر باشر لتدش حسا ويكتشو لهم ايش شاه شبيت أبيت شاه لبيت وام يماث هبيت mahut masha walchuk wa wash canoe hakrib al bitu bum kasat napshat aish lapi aklu taksu al hasha shah Tamim Zakr bin Shanah Yahya Lakam Man Hakbashim Woman Hazim Takchu Wahya Lakam Lash لم شمرت عد أربع عشر يوم لتدش حزا وش شثو أتوكل كهل عدد يشرا بين حربيم والقتشو من هدم ون تنو al-shati hum zuzat wal hum shakuf al-habtim asher yaklu atu baham waklu at hapshur balila hasa tzli ash waptsut al-maritim al-marim yaklahu al-taklu mamnu na wapshul mabshul bamim ki tli rashu al-kur'agu wal qurbu wallah tutiru mamnu ad baqar wahnatur mamnu Ad Bakr Bash Touch Rapu Waka Taklu Atu Matnikam Chagrim Nalikam Berglikam Wamkulkam Bidkam Waklatum Atu Bach Pazun Pasach Hwa Lihwa Wabrati Bards Matsarim Belila Hazah Wahkiti Kul Bakur Barts Matsrim Madam Wad Bahma Wabkul Alhi Matsrim Asha